Aldor is a human metropolis. It is a melting pot of all cultures and races in the game, basically. It is, or was, recently besieged by demons and half destroyed. And it could very well be that you were one of the people who survived this and continued, or you're a traveling mercenary from the Badlands who just arrived after the onslaught, looking for work, basically.
I'd go with the I just came in and after the onslaught.
Okay, cool. And Cassandra will be beginning in the Elven Lands, in the Elven Nation. And I already know exactly where Kira and Shigeharu are, as they've already played.
Well, he's missing.
Yeah, I don't know where he is. He's just gone.
I saw him
So.
leave the room with Jamie, so
Each of
Middle of a session, they're gonna do their own.
the pair of you that are just starting, since you're in different towns, but effectively you're all going to end up going to the same place, I need to decide which of you I'm going to start with. So, the best way to decide that is if one of you does not wish to go first, or if you want to see one of the more experienced players have a go of it real quick to get a feel for what you'll be doing. You've watched some already, Kate, or saw the creation, but you didn't get to see any gameplay. So the other option is to begin with Sam.
My camera almost fell.
Right.
I can always go first. Fuck it. I ain't afraid to go first.
Excellent. Then, here's where you begin. The outlands of this town you are traveling to have been full up with all manner of foul creatures from your other foul parents' homeland, more or less. Many of them have come directly from hell, and they came in force and tore apart this entire area and the lands that surround it. While traveling north to the capital, you could see that the city was burning from a distance, but it seems to have calmed down over the last 2 days that you've been traveling downhill into the valley where this city is nestled. The flames stop on the first day, and by the second, you can see the outer wall. As you near the wall's edge, a troop of 4 fully armored and armed guardsmen approach you with weapons drawn and shields raised. They look like they are terrified of you. The first one says, "Don't move. Do not move, or we will cut you down where you fucking stand. State your business."
Alright, well, obviously I'm just coming in looking for work. So, with me having the skill of diplomacy, am I able to roll to try to talk to them to see what's going on?
Yes. So to do that, you'll roll your d20.
I got a 12.
And you don't have a charisma mod because your charisma is not high. So
No.
it'll just be 12. Now I'll roll for the guard and see if he is willing or susceptible to speaking with you, as he is quite scared.
Well, and plus I'm already ugly as it is. I got another 12.
Oof. Oh no, that roll was for me.
Hey.
I have to get my fucking tray open though, because I roll in Aziz Baby.
Oh, okay, fancy. Holy shit.
Yeah, I like his more than I like mine. If I ever find one like his, I'll buy it.
Amazon.
It was beautiful. I had to have it. I even have a cup that matches.
Oh,
Nice, sis.
Well, what do you know? This guardsman is having none of your shit. Absolutely none of it.
well, shit. All right, so I guess I'm gonna roll to fight the son of a bitch.
Now, before this happens, you as soon as he decides he doesn't want to hear it, he's too scared of you being half demonic and decides he reaches for his sword to raise it high like he's going to try to cut you down. But before he can, he is stopped mid-swing by a very unusual occurrence. An arrow comes whistling through the air and knocks his sword clean out of his hand. The four guards immediately turn to their right and take a shield wall formation from where the arrow came. You see a man robed all in black with a very deep-set hood low over his face. He approaches with a very unusual wooden, silvery-colored bow in hand and says, "Don't kill him. He didn't actually siege your city. This one's a half-dragon." The guards double take on you for a moment, and then he pulls his hood back. They look at him a bit uncertainly, and then they lower their weapons. He says, "He's just a traveler. I'll vouch for him." The guardsmen look at him, look at you, look at each other, and a great silence of uncertainty falls on them. Then they slowly step down and move aside, opening the gates. The man places a very long wooden stem pipe in his mouth, takes a long draw, and then looks at you and says, "Come on. Let's go on in."
I'm a little eerie of this fella.
He heads through the gate, just like it's any other Tuesday. You follow?
I'm gonna go with yeah. Might as well.
He waits for you to figure out if you want to really pursue him, because you're hesitant, and he can tell you're hesitant, but he doesn't seem unfriendly in any way about it. He waits. When you come up to him and approach him, he walks beside you and says, "You're demonic. The guards recently got attacked by hordes of demons. It's no small wonder they wanted to butcher you. My name is Tirvanen."
Tiv who?
Greenleaf will do.
Aye. All right.
He says, "What do they call you?"
Igneal.
Lately, the guardsmen here are so uneasy, they're turning people away at the gates, even kinsmen. But I can tell a mercenary when I see one. I'm also a sword for hire, in a manner of speaking. But I've decided to vouch for you, a total stranger, because it's not every day you see somebody with both bloodlines mixed in them. And you've come to this city at a very inopportune time. Ironically, I am looking for someone to do some dirty work, if you don't mind wetting a blade.
I do not.
He says, "You'll have a hard time finding too many people wanting to hire you in this particular town, or any, really. Meaning no offense. But as I can understand the predicament you're in, I figure you could definitely use the work. So, let me ask you, how do you feel about other dragons like you?"
Puzzling. Because you never know what you're gonna get with, with half-fiends like me.
So if you were to encounter a group of them similar to yourself, you wouldn't be opposed to fighting them?
I would have an issue with it, yes.
I see. The reason I ask is because far to the south, there is a group, an army coming this way. You could think of them as being something of overlords, war chieftains meant to pillage, rape, and burn. They're not half fiends, but they are draconic, dragon blood, most of them red. Probably why the guardsmen hated you so.
Just use your imagination, Leo. This is pretty much what D&D is.
Babe, we didn't hear you.
Well, I know that.
Oh,
I muted my mic on purpose because somebody asked in the chat that they had no idea what was going on. So I muted myself so it wasn't rude to the DM as he was speaking, so I could reply to them and not interrupt him.
gotcha. I got so lost. I was like, whoa.
But no, on that state, if it is the fact that my kind is trying to pillage and rape innocent people, regardless of what they are, then yeah, I would fight them. I would cut them down like the scum they are.
These dragons have already been, well, somewhat heretical. They carve people who don't worship their opposed god king, as they named him. And he is bent on taking all of the north, all of the lands north of their country. The elves, the dwarves, and the regular humanic folk here in the city. And even the other dragons of this world. I'm looking for a group of particularly skilled fighters who might be willing to take them on, and as luck would have it, I could use a half-red dragon specifically to assist me with this. So I thought, when I saw you, you weren't flying the colors of that nation, and you were looking for work. You seemed like just the right kind of person to come walking into town. At least for me. Not for the guards, unfortunately, but, you know, for me at least.
Yeah, the guards don't want none of my shit.
With any consolation, they could have technically enforced an arrest on me as well, because I'm also wanted here.
So then what are you here for?
I'm also quite famous as a dragon slayer. Meaning no offense.
My butthole fucker.
I go after the ferals. I go after feral dragons, he clarifies. Not after common folk, and certainly not after other mercenaries. Unless, of course, I'm hired to kill that mercenary. In your case, I'm not.
Well, with the what you have given me, I will indeed help you on attacking these people.
It's a hard thing, and it'll require no small degree of tact. I'll need you to meet up with some of the other fighters and skilled tradesmen that are going to be assisting with this problem. In your case...
Alright, bum. I'll probably be on Cold War later, okay? Well, not later, but probably tomorrow.
In your case, I would say... I need to take you back to my compound where I've been gathering these folk. It's not far from here, but it requires me to use a spell, a teleportation, if you will. Does that sit okay with you?
Let's go for it. As long as there isn't any adverse effects from teleportation.
Oh, no. Nope, just earth magic, nature magic.
Right.
See that tree? He gestures across the courtyard of this town as you are passing into the market, and you do see an oak tree that has managed to escape the fire of the siege. He says, we're going to go right up to that tree. Very lightly, he lays a hand on your shoulder and then touches the tree. You're pulled into it and thrust out of another tree somewhere else. In an instant, feels like you just went...
All I can think about is the cat.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh my god.
He has no idea what that's about.
Oh my god.
anyway.
I don't even know if Joe knows this, but the ironic thing is that you brought that up is that this particular guy you're with used to be trapped in the bum and house cat for like 7 years.
I bet he was a poor cat that was stuck on the window. He finally got suctioned off, and then here he is.
Poor Frank.
Oh dear God, Frank. I didn't even think of Frank. Poor Frank. Anyway, where you find yourself on the outside of is on the outside of the city in a small ring of silvery gray trees, like a small grove within a grassland or plains, if you will. This grove doesn't appear natural to the area, probably created using druid magic or ranger magic like you would use. Indeed, the spell he just currently used was called Tree Stride, one that you, as a ranger, could even learn.
Super useful.
I can't. In the game, I can't really I can't have him look at you and go, "I am a ranger," but out of game, I can tell you he is a ranger.
How?
It'd be awkward if he just was like, "Hello, fellow ranger. Have you earned your merit badges as well?"
Oh, he's prepared.
But yeah, he's the same class, so he's able to use the similar magics.
Babe, if you're confused, this is Boy
No,
Scouts.
I'm not confused about that. I just realized I forgot what the Girl Scouts one was.
Sam just did it.
Oh, okay.
Because no dick, dick.
And
That is the
Bug,
best
your
analogy for
streaming,
that ever.
like your stream, it says you're streaming